Hello everybody, this is part of my NCR rework series. The first video was focused on the regular troops of the Mojave chapter. In this video, I want to explore how some NCR special units would look like. In this video, I will showcase my ideas and designs for an NCR special long-range reconnaissance unit that operates mostly in the Sonoran Desert, located in the south of the NCR and stretching into the territories of former Mexico and also Arizona. Before going into detail, I will play the intro of the NCR series for those less familiar with my videos. The New California Republic is a post-war federal republic founded in the namesake territory of New California in 2189. At its peak, it's comprised of 5 contiguous states located in the southern half of the former American state of California, with additional territories holding in Northern California, Oregon, Nevada, Arizona, and Northern Mexico. While initially going without a capital city during the tenure of its first president, Aradesh, Shady Sands later became the nation's first capital at 2198. 12 years after the Trial Council was formed, and 2 years into the first term of the second president, Tandy, with native residents of Shady Sands taking pride in belonging to the first capital of the New California Republic. Officially, the New California Republic stands for democracy, personal liberty, and rule of law. While many NCR citizens greatly benefited from the Republic's expansion, it has also engaged in expansionism and imperialism, both to acquire resources and civilize or pacify border regions. Subordinate to the President and the Congress, the military of the NCR was one of its most distinguished elements. The core component, the NCR Army, had thousands of servicemen at its peak, drawing from both volunteers and conscripts. They were organized into divisions and battalions, equipped with standardized weapons and armor, and represented a diverse range of training and competence. They were the proverbial sledgehammer, a tool used to crush enemies of the NCR and build order in the lands under its control, and a shield to protect them from harm that may come from numerous enemies. Supported by the industrial might of the Republic and the unique technologies reclaimed from the wasteland, like vertebrates confiscated from the enclave, the army was the foundation of the security policy of the NCR, with uniformed police formations responsible for enforcing the law within the territory of the NCR. The NCR made no special distinctions between the genders when it came to serving in the military. Super mutants and ghouls are also known to serve in the elite rangers. The SLRRU, or Special Long Range Recon Unit, is a unit of the NCR Army operating mostly in the southern regions of the NCR, primarily the Sonoran Desert. The main objectives of this unit is penetration into territories ungoverned by the NCR, covert reconnaissance patrols, and intelligence gathering missions. They may also conduct raiding missions, establish contact with locals if they deem them civilized enough to initiate contact, and potentially form friendly relations to help the NCR gain a foothold in certain regions. The unit mostly comprised of nomadic desert tribes that were assimilated into the Republic during NCR's expansion. Over time, these tribals proved capable of proper assimilation and demonstrated strong navigation and survival skills in the desert. This skill set was essential for the Sonoran region. Their tribal background also gave them more favor with other tribes in the area, though not with everyone, as some still hold age-old grudges and actively resist the efforts of the unit. The SLRRU is not like the first recon, but it does have its similarities. Its strongest asset is their ability to traverse and exist within a hostile desert environment and survive and even thrive in it while conducting long-range recon missions. The unit is very sneaky in nature and can move pretty much unseen in the Sonoran Desert. They are able to predict storms and traverse the land at nighttime and daytime with ease, and they are familiar with its most common dangers. They leverage their tribal experience to its fullest potential. Now let's go over their designs. The unit mostly operates independently from the rest of the NCR army. They are still under the authority of the army's chain of command, but are given more freedom in how they conduct operations and how they equip themselves. This might sound controversial, and I will circle back to it further in the video and will explain it. So how does the average SLRRU unit member look like? Let's start from the top. Members of the unit usually cover their heads with some type of cloth, whether it's sackcloth or piece of fabric that they found or crafted themselves. It is mostly held in place with a rope or string. On top of this, they wear riding goggles in order to protect themselves from sand and dust. They also carry and wear respirators or rebreathers for toxic areas and sandstorms. There is no real standardized protective equipment that they use. They tend to mix and match armor, pouches, and uniforms as they see fit. In this depiction, the operator has a combat armor pauldron covered in cloth, a bandolier for ammo, a bag for maps and documents. He also has an LBE belt with some side pouches attached to it. You can also see that there's an additional belt around the waist with extra pouches. The uniform underneath is a modified NCR BDU. They may also have access to pieces of ranger armor like the one you see on the leg in this concept. The headwear or scarf is not only a practical piece of equipment, but also part of their cultural identity, which has become the identity of the unit itself. It can be short or long, it's up to the operator. In essence, it's just a practical tradition. It's not a symbol of status or hierarchy as well. You can see here how vastly different they might look as they mix and match their gear to their own needs and don't really standardize things. So they might have different scarves, goggles, even uniforms, and even shades of uniform, as some of the uniforms may be old, bleached by the sun, and stuff like that. Even though they have so much freedom over their kit and uniforms, they still stick with uniforms as to be recognizable to each other, and also it's good for camouflage in the desert. The unit usually doesn't wear armor during raids to lessen the weight that they must carry, as their missions are focused on long-range patrols and reconnaissance, but sometimes they can be seen wearing NCR armor. They usually use steel armor encased in a leather casing, if I can call it that, somewhat like a plate carrier you can say, just without all the moly and stuff like that, just like you see in the depiction here. They may add additional protection to their needs, like for example more eye protection or attached leg protection and stuff like that, as you may see here in the depiction with the eye armor. The SLRRU is also one of the few units to deploy camouflage in the field. They have been supplied with camo uniforms or capes and have also created their own DIY camo and ghillie suits using materials found in the wasteland. The unit consists of expert survivors who are able to thrive on lower resources. Here you can see a DIY ghillie suit. It's not really a complete suit, it's mixed and matched from stuff that the trooper finds in the wasteland. And here is a depiction of DIY camouflage that they may use. And in this depiction you can see that the pants are somewhat of a tiger stripe camo. This is a camo that is supplied to them. Tiger stripe is gonna be hard to really replicate DIY. This one is made and supplied by the NCR themselves. Additional equipment they might carry includes headsets for communications and various attachments such as monoculars and single-eye night vision or a full night vision setup with a battery pack in the back. Unit members most commonly seen using the NCR MCH9 modular headset, capable of supporting several modular attachments. While not as advanced as the technology used by the veteran rangers, it gets the job done. Even though they are tribals, they don't shy away from using technology, adapting technology and learning it to their own benefit. The unit usually sticks to sniper rifles and DMRs as their primary weapons, and they typically carry SMGs as secondary weapons. The unit uses hunting rifles, usually chambered in 308, AMRs, anti-material rifles, chambered in 50 cal, the Carabinier SMG, chambered in 45 auto, a 25mm grenade launcher, a 7.62 NATO chambered LMG, and the HR-77 DMR named Mercy, chambered in a 308. The AMR and hunting rifles speak for themselves. They are seen in the game, though in the depiction the hunting rifle here is wrapped in camouflage. The Carabinier SMG is a simple blowback SMG made by Ironclad Arms in Bakersfield, California, a collective of gunsmiths aiming to create a reliable, rugged SMG capable of withstanding the harsh environment of the wasteland. Named the Carabinier as it is most favored by caravan guards. The unit chose to stick primarily with this SMG because it's sturdy and very reliable, and requires minimal maintenance to fully function. The HR-77 Mercy was made pre-war by Houston Arms, a defunct company now after the war. It is a powerful weapon that was typically fielded by special troops and paramilitary organizations before the war. It saw decent circulation, and many examples survived the war, continuing to serve various wasteland factions post-war. And that's the main weapons that the unit uses. Let's go over the roles within the unit. Roles aren't strictly assigned to one individual and can be swapped around depending on the available resources and manpower. The first role is the squad leader. Squad leaders usually carry a modified sniper rifle and binoculars, and are usually equipped with a headset. They typically lead squads of 10 people. Their main responsibility is navigation and squad management, as well as planning the mission. Usually the squad leader is the most senior and experienced soldier of the bunch. Due to the nature of the unit, there is no rigid hierarchy. Leadership is based on respect, competence, and proven ability, something that is carried over from their tribal culture. The next role is the high caliber sniper. This role is fairly self-explanatory. They carry the heaviest hitting weapon in the squad and are highly effective at long ranges, especially against armored enemies and creatures. They usually can be seen wearing additional laser braces and attachments to carry extra 50 cal ammunition. The AMR is usually given to the best marksman of the group, as the ammo is not easy to come by and each shot is very expensive and must count. Next is the LMG role. Also fairly obvious, this is the machine gunner, an essential role within the squad due to the volume of fire and suppression they can provide, especially effective against large groups of enemies, and usually reserved for emergencies or critical missions and raids. The unit is big on conserving ammo, and if things go bad, a large volume of fire might save them. The grenade rifle usually rotates between members, and one or two individuals are typically designated as grenadiers. The next role is the standard low-ranking member. These soldiers are less experienced and usually stay towards the rear, learning the ropes. You can consider them as recruits or just regular units, regular members, and they commonly carry the HR-77, the marksman rifle, or the Carabinier SMG, or a hunting rifle, depending on the needs of the operation and the availability of those weapons to the unit. And of course, within the squad, there has to be also a radio operator to relay the information in real time. The unit is highly capable and has many successful operations under its belt. They take a careful, low-key approach to avoid detection, traverse the desert with ease, and live off the land effortlessly. Skills rooted in their tribal customs and upbringing. Although they have assimilated, they haven't lost their traditions and held on to them. The men of the tribe are expected to be able to hunt and survive in the desert and are trained from a young age by the men of the tribe. Because of their commitment to tradition, The unit does not allow men or women that are not part of their tribe to join them. This is something that the NCR doesn't like. There is controversy within the military surrounding them, as they from one side are a great asset to the NCR and pretty much irreplaceable, as the NCR tried to deploy the first recon the same way and failed, while sustaining casualties from the elements, while the SLRRU has an incredibly low casualty rate and high success rate operating in the harsh Sonoran desert. But from the other side, they have too much freedom and seem to value their tribe higher than the interest of the NCR at times, in the eyes of the brass. But the unit haven't shown yet any hostility towards the Republic itself, and still serves them in their own capacity. The unit is reluctant to conform to grooming standards and uniformity of the NCR army, and still holds to their own customs very strongly. They are a very local and small unit, comprised of 250 people maximum, and operate almost exclusively in the Sonora region, so they aren't in competition with the Rangers, as the skills and tasks are very different between these two. The Rangers, as I see them, are more of a law enforcement, high-profile missions, direct combat and elite strike operations type of unit. They protect NCR citizens and key structures often deployed where visibility matters. They represent the NCR pretty much. The SLRRU is a long-range reconnaissance unit, covert patrols, intelligence gathering in ungoverned and hostile territories. Their success is measured in what they survive and report back, not public victories. Not many people in the NCR even know of this unit. And that's it for these guys. I hope you liked the idea. Thanks for watching, and there will be more videos, not only reworks, my ideas, but also more original stuff in the Fallout universe, as I have done previously.